Hi everybody, I'm Gina Terranoni of the Dova Center, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to do and organize your foot soaks for home. So first what we did was, I don't have the electric pot, but I use a teapot and I boil up, about 5-6 cups of water in a tea kettle. And then after I boil that up, I'm going to show you here. I already prepared my little basin and I put the tea bag or the foot soak in there. You can see the bag. And then we let that steep, I would say for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then I've got this little fancy foil on top to keep it nice and warm, nice and hot. We generally want the water to be at about 105 to 113 or 14 degrees the entire time that you're soaking. Let me just straighten this out a little bit, excuse me. So yeah, about 100 to 113 or 14 degrees. So first you just let that soak, and when you go to put your feet in it, it's going to be hot. So what do you do before you put your feet in is you're going to have a little extra container of cold water, and you'll match it, you'll double it, so maybe about 5 or 6 cups of cold water. And then what you'll do, you can either use your foot or a spoon, or we have these at the Dova Center, and then we just kind of mix it up to blend the water so you don't burn your feet off. So make sure you add that water in. And then we have this fancy temperature gauge. Okay, so right now it's saying it's about 112 and a half, 113, that's perfect. So you can also use a food thermometer at home. You can either just put it on the side, or I would say about every 7 to 10 minutes. Just put the thermometer in the water. And again, if the herbs, if it's not too hot, then it won't be as effective. You really want to get the strength of the herbs. So, feels really good too. So what I like to do after I get my feet in is I'll wrap this little foil around, or you can use a blanket. It's really good to try to break a little bit of the sweat during these soaks. So you can cover yourself with a blanket around the bowl or just on your legs. And that's it. So what I would say at this point is, I didn't set this up, but you can just chill out with a pillow. You can put some, cover your eyes or something like that. You can read a book, read a magazine, but stay off your phone. Don't sit there on your phone or on your computer or watching TV. Use this as self-care time. And it feels really good to get into this kind of a routine that you could do at nighttime, or you can do it in the morning. And we can talk about some of the health benefits, but the most important thing is how you set it up. You can use, we have these fancy wooden buckets that I showed you earlier. You can use a plastic bucket. The one, I'm at the Dova Center now, so we like to use the little wooden buckets. But you could use a plastic bucket from like Home Depot or something like that, and just put the herbs in there. You steep them again, 10 to 15 minutes, make it nice and strong. Then that's 5 cups of boiling water. Then you add in, after it's steeped, then you add in cold water so you can put your feet in. And my feet went in, it was about 112, 113 degrees. You want to keep it like this for about 30 minutes. So, it might take you, maybe it seems too hot at first, so you can start at about 105, 110 and do that first, but you get used to it. I would say by the 3rd or 4th day, it actually feels really good to go straight into like 113, and sometimes I'll do it 115, but be careful. So let me see what else. There's a lot of information on these foot soaks. When not to do it, this is debatable, but the foot soaks that we use, they're from Tibet. They're very high grade, high quality. So you don't want to do the foot soak if you have a cold. If you have an acute cold, why? Because these herbs are blood invigorating. So if you have a sinus infection, or if you've got a sore throat, just let that settle before you do your soaks, or take a break if you've already started them. So blood invigorating means it's going to invigorate your circulation, and what is that going to do? It's going to spread that cold faster through into your body. Another thing is that if you've got cancer, we don't want to invigorate your blood. We don't want to give the cancer any strength in your body. If you've got high blood pressure, check with us first before buying these. You can do it, I would start maybe at about 20 minutes. You don't want to go over 30 minutes. Once you do over 30 minutes with the foot soak, then it starts to raise things levels up. So I would say if you're in for medically, if you want to invigorate the blood, it also helps to clear dampness out of the body. So good for any kind of pain, especially obviously foot, ankle, knee, back. You can use these foot soaks. But if you are doing something where you're high stress or you've got chronic pain, it might take a little bit longer to get the circulation going. Then again, check with us, but you'd probably be okay to do it for 45 minutes. So I just wanted to show you at home, because I know we do carry these foot soaks at the Dova Center. Right now there's only about 100 licensed acupuncturists in the world, because there's a shortage on the herbs. They come from the mountains of Tibet. They're very clean, very pure. So ask us before if you have any questions about them, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what it's like to get them started. And maybe in another screening I can go more into the benefits, but generally speaking, they're really good for pain. They're good for neuropathy or tingling, any kind of sensation or disconnect in blood circulation in the entire body. Also really helpful for gynecological disorders, painful periods, fibroids, anything, irregular cycles, spotting, cramping, really good for digestive too. So the herbs get absorbed through the skin, and they enter the channels, and then they start working their magic. But while I'm sitting with my feet in my soak, I'm also drinking our elixir tea that is excellent in combination with the foot soaks, and this is how we do it at the Dova Center. Is you drink the tea, you just relax. The tea is very helpful. We call it our stress relief tea, but it's helpful just to be nice and balanced throughout the day. It's good for sleep, just calming the nervous system down. Also helpful with digestion, helpful with stress, helpful with circulation. It's a very grounding, very calming formula. It won't make you sleepy. It'll just prepare you and be at ease during your day. So when you do go to sleep, it's easier. You're not all pumped up and then you kind of crash to go to sleep. This keeps you nice and level throughout the day. So if you haven't tried a foot soak, then come to the Dova Center and give us a try. But if you have bought a 10-pack of the soaks, this is how you get started. Any other questions, feel free to let us know. You can always give us a call, 303-955-7226. We're in Louisville, Colorado, and I love these foot soaks. So it's probably been about 5 minutes or so for me. So what I'm going to do, this is something that you'll get used to as I start to feel like, oh, it feels like it's cooling off a little bit. So I'm going to take my little fancy thermometer here and check the water. And it's dropped down to about 100 degrees. So what I'm going to do is safely take my feet out of the soak, and what I did is you can either have your tea kettle plugged in next to you that's full, or we boil the water at the Dova Center and then we fill this guy up so it's nice and hot. And then I'm going to add about half of this in. So after you add it in, don't forget, you can use your foot, or if you want to be a little bit safer, use the tongs, stir it up. And then I was going to put my feet in there. Okay, and we're back. I'm back at about 111, 112. So probably good for about 6 or 7 more minutes. I'm gonna soak them, and maybe I should just angle so you guys can see. Sorry if you can't see this. Maybe that's a little bit, oh, there you go. Now my head might be cut off, but that's okay. I'd rather you see the bucket. So then you put your feet back in. Feels really good. Feels really good. And I've got a little bit of clothes on. I'm gonna be hunched over a little bit so I can see you when I'm talking to you, but this feels amazing. And you know, personally, you know, I just turned 47. I've got some stuff going on, nothing too major, but I like to use it for stress reduction, these herbs. Also, I want to keep my circulation going, especially in the winter time. I'm fairly active, so I do get some joint pains. I've been dealing with, right now I get a toe issue, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're a climber and you've got to stand up on your toe, it hurts. So I did notice when we first got these soaks in that after about 3 or 4 soaks, it was awesome. I dropped 90% of the pain. We've had some patients that have neuropathy, and by the time they've gotten through their first 10-pack, they've decreased their pain by about 70%, went on to the second 10-pack, doing phenomenal. It just really stabilizes, excuse me, stabilizes your blood circulation. So again, if you've got any questions, I'm going to sit for another 20 minutes or so. Let's see if there's anything else I can give you while I'm hanging out. We love our foot soaks. We love our tea that we have here. Everybody's been doing it. The Dova Center loves it. So it's a great addition to any of the treatments, or some people just come in and do the soaks by themselves. So thank you if you're watching on Facebook Live. Thank you very much today. And we look forward to seeing you at the Dova Center, and feel free to come by and pick up a 10-pack of the foot soaks. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.